Okay, so how are you today, Mildred?
I'm doing good, teacher. It was a sunny day here in Doha.
Wow.
If you will come go outside, you will feel the heat of the sun in your skin. Even
Mm,
inside the house, you will feel the hot weather outside. So you need to turn on your AC
mhm.
to find your
Yeah,
comfort.
you were right. Even here, it's so hot today, but yesterday, it's it seems like it likes to rain, but now it's so hot. So the weather every day is really changing. Okay, there, yeah, but it's okay rather than to have the flood. I'm really scared of
Yes.
flood. Okay. Yeah, at least this is good. We can still hide inside the house if it's too hot.
Yes.
Okay. There you go. All right. So early this morning I was able to purchase more IELTS book. I will I will check that one later. Okay, because if you'll take the exam, it's not all about speaking, right? You also have
Mhm.
the listening, the writing. Okay, so maybe later we can also study that one. Okay, so I have a complete books now. Okay, anyway, we'll just stick to this one. This is the simplest. Okay, later we will go into that. Okay, Filipinos like to earn money every day, and here in the online world, there are other Filipinos who are selling books at a very
Mhm.
affordable price.
Oh, good that you connect them.
Yeah, they are really legit. Okay, and they that's their business. They sell books. Okay, yeah, they I think they also purchase it, and now they are selling it to a lot of teachers also, and of course they will have a bigger income because they will sell it to a lot of people. Okay, there you go. All right, now I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so we are done here last time. Okay, here. All right, let's all about wedding. Okay, here.
Mhm.
Okay, so um this is one of the topic that my student prepared last time, the divorce. Yeah, this is a serious topic for our society. Okay, the divorce. Okay, so the question is, please read.
What are people's attitudes towards divorce?
Okay, so when you say
Well,
people, so it's the Filipinos. Okay, the
mm,
Filipino. Okay, please read.
well, nowadays, people are more open to this issue. They no longer regard it as a disaster or the end of the world. But moment used to be the victim of divorce as they were economically dependent. The divorced women would be humiliated since others always put the blame on the women. So a woman would not choose to leave the husband for the sake of the children and herself no matter how much suffering she had in her marriage. Nowadays, as women enjoy equal rights and economical independence, they would want a divorce for the sake of their children and their own happiness. If they are not happy with their marriage, they think that it's simply a fact of life. If there is no longer any love, they'd better separate and give freedom to each other.
Okay. I think this kind of an answer is for the part three already. Okay. There you
Mm.
go. Yeah. It's for the part three. It's too long. It really requires you to tell more details about it. Okay. Now, okay, you just answer it in any, way you like it or until what limit you like it. Okay. So what are the Filipinos' attitudes towards divorce? Okay. So what can you say about it?
Okay, well, in my own opinion, I would rather say that attitudes towards divorce is like there are forces or there are forces or issues that has not been addressed that the cause of this divorce. Some of the attitudes that Filipinos have would be um, that would be financial problem, um, attitude problem or attitude problem, and it would add what would it would be relational issue, like like um like the upbringing or individual individual issues that has not been handled from the past. Okay, that the cause of them, unresolved issues that has been brought or that has not been addressed during their journey of marriage. um, some of them some of them might be um, issues that can be worsened, that cannot be handled, that both of them are decided to be in a separate ways.
Mm-hmm. Okay. For Filipinos, in your own opinion, do you think it's now common in our country for
Yes,
couples to have the divorce?
I do believe it would be a common if mostly of those marriage that has not been matured enough when they're getting married, or they they are married at a young age, or not prepared for the intentional marriage that they are, intentional marriage that marriage should be look like.
Okay, you were right. Okay. To young couples, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, young couples who married,
Early.
uh, yeah, early. Okay. Yeah. And then you've mentioned that, okay, the reasons why, okay, um, they chose, okay, to separate ways. Separate ways. There is a song, right? Separate ways. Okay. Okay. It's because of factors, okay, related to relationship problems, right?
Problem,
Okay,
financial
relationship
problem.
problems. Third party. Third party problems. Okay, financial problems. Okay, attitudes. Yeah, you've mentioned about attitudes. Attitude.
What would be the temperature for a third party or something like mm,
What's another word for third party? Okay.
betrayal something?
Yeah, betrayal.
Betrayal.
Yeah. Yeah, partners betrayal. Okay. Betrayal and a lot more. Okay, a lot more. Okay, some they just realize that they don't love each other anymore and they will fight each other every day and they will get separated, right? Others because of the parents, because the parents don't want the husband or the wife. Okay, the parents will interfere. Okay, or
Yes.
sometimes it's with career.
Career.
Okay. Yeah, career. Sometimes if the man sees that the wife is more successful than him, he don't want that. Okay.
Yes,
Then
intimidated or
intimidated. Yeah. My IELTS student, who passed. Yeah, I've mentioned her to you last time. Who passed the IELTS for Australia. Um, she is working now, and I think on divorcing or to separate from her husband because her husband is cheating on her
mm,
accordingly because her husband thinks that she's more successful than him.
oh,
Okay, because the wife is really workaholic. She has a very good position in the company, while the husband is just the normal, and that's the cause of everything. And now I think they will separate from each other. Okay, yeah, and she will go to Australia for the IELTS. I mean, for the
mm,
scholarship. Okay, there. So this is
mm.
an example.
Okay. Well, in my own opinion, I can say that divorce is becoming common among Filipinas. It is usually happens to young couples who married early. The reason why they choose to separate ways is because of factors related to relationship problems, financial problems, attitudes, partners betrayal, and a lot more.
Okay, there you go. So you just think of what the most accurate answer to give. Okay, because it's asking you, the question is asking us the people's attitude. Okay, the people's attitude. So for Filipinos, our attitude, okay, it's like we are embracing it now, and a lot of people are having this divorce nowadays. Okay, just like in America, I believe in Western countries it's very common, and
Yes.
I think Filipinos are also copying, the behavior of the Americans. Like
Mm.
they will sort to divorce if they don't like the partner anymore. They will no longer fight for it. Okay, there you go. So that is our attitude towards this one. Okay, next. Okay. Okay,
At what
here's
Okay. At what age people be allowed to get married in Vietnam? Did you have a if did you have to ask for permission from your parents before get married? Usually, the minimum age limit for a man is 20 and a woman is 18. But now, many people prefer to get married later than that. I didn't have to ask for permission from my parents, but I didn't ask them for the approval to show my respect.
okay. How about for you? Okay,
Um,
so all right. At what age can people allowed to get married in the Philippines? And did you have to ask for permission?
Okay. In Philippines, the same as in the civil code, um, the age limit for the age limit for a man to get married for a woman is the same like 20 and 18. But mostly, as family-oriented people in the Philippines, most of the parents advise them to finish their studies before get enter into marriage life in order for them to have a comfort in the future or um, no problem will be raised during during mess up in their situation during marriage life.
Okay, parents advise them to finish study. Okay,
Studies.
yeah, finish studies first. Okay,
Yes.
comma before getting married. Okay, before getting married. Okay, you are right. Okay. Yeah, so that is nice. Okay, you've mentioned about the age in the Philippines, that's 18. Okay, however, we are encouraged, especially by our parents, to finish studies first before getting married. Okay, to make sure that they will have a stable income, okay, before having a family, and to make sure that they'll be able to support their family needs. Okay. There you go. Yeah. So you need to remember that. Okay. Say the age and then say about the education and getting married. Okay. That is really important. Okay. There you go. Yeah. So you are representing the culture of the Filipinos. All right. Next. Okay. Here.
Could you tell me something about your family? Do you live in a big or small family? Yes, I have a small happy family. My wife works as a nurse in the local hospital, and our son, 7 years old, goes to school every day. He's very cute. Yes, I'm the only child of the family, and I'm still single, so I live together with my parents who have just retired. I live in a big family, then so-called extended family, with my grandparents, my uncle and aunt living together. We are very close knit and quite happy. My mother is very sociable, but my father prefers to do gardening quietly. My parents used to work in a state run enterprise as engineers, but now they are both retired.
Okay. There you go. Now, how about you? Could you tell me something about your family? Do you live in a big or small family?
Okay, yes, I have a family of five, where I have three children. My husband working in government here in Doha, Qatar, with good and stable job at this stage. And also I have three children. The eldest one is 13 years old. She's a girl. The second one is a son. His age is 11 years old, and the youngest one is 3 years old, running 4 years old this coming ano, tapos na pala. Planning to go to school this coming September.
Okay, the youngest is now 4. Okay, there you go. All right. So that is how you can start. Okay, so you can say, okay, is it a big family, right? You can consider that a big family already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
teacher, because usually in Western country they have only one or two. So more than two, I think, would be a big family in Western countries.
Yeah, you were right. It's already a big family. Okay, there you go. So that is how
But
you
for us, our big family is eight.
ate. In the Philippines, 8,
Philippines.
11, 12.
So,
Okay. Yeah, you were right. Okay, there. So that is how you say something about your family. You tell their how many kids, the work of your husband, their age, and what they like to do. Okay, there you go. So that's all about this question. Okay, there. Okay. If you have other extended family living with you, so you can also mention them just in case you have your mom or your dad with you or your in-laws, your cousins. Okay, so you can definitely um, include them even case. Okay, next.
does your name affect your personality? Did you take your family name from your mother or father? Well, that's an interesting question. I don't think a name can affect a person's personality, but some people believe it can.
Okay.
Okay.
In your own opinion.
In my own opinion, I would rather not to know about the meaning of my name, but I do believe that the name has been given um, according to the se- choice of my parents, where they found out that that name would be momentum that can give their children, that can give my name like a prophecy. The
Prophecy.
prophecy that what would be the attitude or the personality of my name would be like years goes by.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So that's your opinion, right? So not everyone would want to know the definition or the meaning behind their names. Okay, I think that's not important, right? As long as you're happy with it and that's it.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. All right, now, in what situation?
Okay. In what situation will one change his name? In Vietnam, there are several reasons why one will change his name. First of all, a child in his mother's custody may take his stepfather's family name. If his mother was divorced and got remarried, person may also like to change his name for his belief in superstition. When he is in trouble, he may consult some fortune tellers to find a way out of the trouble. In this case, he is likely to change his name for the sake of good fortune. Another situation I can think of is that a criminal may wish to change his name for a legal reason.
In the Philippines, in what situation will one change his name?
In Philippines, it would be difficult to change names due to some legalities. But if you are mostly change names would happen when adapt adapt. When parents remarried and then do adoptions
Adoption.
adoption, legalities.
Mhm.
That this option would be um this option would be a cost cost it would be a cost more costly for the more costly, but it would that children would be more costly, but children will be benefited on this kind of process.
Okay. Because I
Secondly,
heard someone, yeah, it's adoption. Okay. Secondly,
secondly, screen name would be screen name would be um, select one of the option for the change name due to some due to some what do you call this? Due to some um, due to some what do you call this? Illegal reason, or like illegal reason, or like if you have yung mga books, teacher, if and then you will do copyright, I mean, you like pen name.
mm-hmm,
You will do a pen name, and when you are doing books, we publish books, and then you do want to your name to be known for the one who will buy for your books. Okay, that would be the second reason.
mm-hmm.
Okay, and thirdly is mm, what are the things?
Yung
Mm,
mga artista, yeah, they will
yeah,
change names, right?
yes, and also uh, high personality, famous personalities in the world, in our country, would be changed name due to hide their personal how do you call that, personal identity.
Yeah, personal identity. Yeah, you were right. It could be through legal adoption.
Mm,
Okay, others, it's if they use their pen name,
mm,
either for writing in the newspapers, writing books, or being in the media industry. Okay, so we really need to change also names, okay, to to hide from the enemies, because you
mm,
will write stories against them. Okay, and of course the third one, it's for the celebrities. Okay, you call them the celebrities, famous celebrities in the Philippines. Okay, they will change their names. Okay, there you go. All right. Yeah, so that is based on our culture. Okay, so the answer here could depend what culture you came from. All right, there you go. Next, okay, here. Do you prefer
okay. Do you prefer a big family or a small one? Why? I prefer to have a small family, that's so-called nuclear family. For one thing, it's the state recommendation that one couple should have two children, no more. For another, I like children a lot. I believe my child is a continuation of my life. Finally, with a child, I feel that I take my family more seriously, knowing that I have someone to take, to care for. I like to have a dink family. As you can see, I am too young and not ready to have a family. Also, I always feel that I am the one who needs a lot of care. Why don't we just work and enjoy? In this way, I can spare some time to learn some skills in order to keep up with the times. Okay.
there you go. So for you, which one do you prefer?
Okay. In my own case, if I would give a chance to choose what family that I will take off, I would rather to choose uh, I would rather to choose a big family if I have enough money to supply the responsibilities or to provide the responsibilities for the future. But however, 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 it depends upon the case of the financial living that I am with, especially if my salary my husband and I salary are enough for a small family. I would rather prefer on that due to it is because of it is because to provide future comfort uh, according to our needs.
Okay, there you go. So you are really focused with providing the needs to making sure that you can provide the needs of your family. Okay. So it's like, family planning is really important, right? You
Mm,
plan for the number of kids based on how much you earn and how much you can, support. Okay, there you go. Before we will move on, it was mentioned here the Dink family, right?
mm,
When you say a Dink family, okay, meaning um, no kids, but their income is double. Okay,
mm.
so for example, they have a very good job, the income is really good, but they don't have the kids. Sometimes they're not married. Okay, that is a Dink family. Okay, there you go. All right. And here it says here, I'm not ready to have a family. So he prefers, okay, maybe to have just a girlfriend or a job, okay, with a big salary, but he's not prepared to have a family. Okay, so he says here he feels like he's the one who needs lot of care. Okay, there you go. So a Dink family is suitable for those people who wants time, okay, to for themselves rather than to build a family. Okay, that is Dink family. Okay, there you go. Now for the nuclear family, okay, so it's the opposite. Okay, so a nuclear family here, so you will have okay children, a wife, and you have your job. Okay, there you go.
Mm.
So that's the term, nuclear ending family. Okay, there you go. Do you have any question?
Okay, non-teacher.
Okay, there you go. That's a new word for us. Next.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
How has family structure changed in the recent decades in Vietnam? Well, family structure in Vietnam has changed a lot, generally from a big to small. You see, we Vietnamese used to have extended families with a few generations living together. But time goes on, people need to move with jobs and small families are more common as they're easily mobile.
Okay, there you go. For Vietnam, before they are like Filipinos.
Mm,
They can have a lot of children, but recently the government imposed like a policy in their country,
mm,
okay, that if you think that your income is not that big, so you need to see your income, and there is like a number of kids that you can have. If you have a smaller income, only one
mm.
child. If your income is you and your husband, you have a good job, so you can have two. The most is three. Sometimes it's two, one, two, one. So when I ask my students how many kids you have, two, one, two, one, two, one. That's all. Okay, because it's a policy of the government.
Oh,
Okay. So as you can see on the map, Vietnam is bigger than the Philippines by land. Okay,
mm,
but their population is smaller than the Philippines. Philippines land is too small, but the population is very big.
mm.
Okay, there you go. So that's how it goes. Now, that's for Vietnam. How about for the Philippines? What can you say about the structure?
Okay. Well, in the Philippines, if we will look the structure in our country, Philippines, um, teacher, what do you call that? Ano yun? What do you call that, teacher? Yung another term of ano yun? I miss the term. One second, teacher. I miss the term. Yung family planning. Okay. Okay. Well, in Philippines, family planning is advised by the government, but the heart of the Filipino is more on production of kids, production of kids, production of babies. I don't know the word, the mean that the other term. Um, unfortunately, unfortunately, the structure is higher getting higher in terms of unfortunately family planning is required but not imposed. But family planning is imposed but not applied by the community.
Okay, it wasn't applied
Applied,
and enforced. Okay, that's
imposed by the.
because in Vietnam it was enforced. Okay.
So so as the years goes by, the same as years goes by, uh, action has not been taken and more jobless um, due to this unplanned issue of families
Okay. There.
unemployment.
Okay. It is. Okay. Um, poverty and yeah, because there are just poverty. Because if the population of the country is bigger, okay, and the income is very small, okay, per family, so you can expect that I mean, um, yeah, if population is bigger and there's a problem with unemployment rate, so the income is affected, so the poverty is increasing. Okay,
Increasing.
yeah, unemployment is big. Okay, here. Yeah, all right. So please read.
If you look in the family structure of the Philippines, still most have big families with five or more children. Family planning do exist in our country. However, it was not applied and enforced in my country. That is why we can notice that more and more children are born every year. The Philippine population is getting bigger. With this, poverty and unemployment is a big problem.
Okay, there you go. All right. Every year, the National Commission on Population will go will conduct programs, okay, in areas to educate people about family planning, but still, okay, most of the families don't follow it. Okay, there are lots of modes of ways, okay, of being introduced on family planning, but still, okay, and the religion as well, especially for the Islam. Okay, some of the families will not follow this family planning. Okay, because it's against their belief. Okay, there you go. All right, so this is okay an example answer for this one. Okay, next.
Okay. Who does of the shopping, cooking, housework in the family? Definitely my wife as she works. Has more spare time. I'm just too busy, but when I have time, I do share some of the housework.
There
Okay.
you go. How
Based in
yeah.
our family, as we are only as we are only working here in for the as we are only working as husband and wife in the family of five, we have a division of labor. Uh, my husband will do shopping as he always do shopping of groceries as he will do cooking every day. Well, on the other way around, I'm doing the household chores um, washing clothes, cleaning the house, and other responsibilities that my husband cannot do while he is in the kitchen.
Mhm. Okay. There is like a distribution of task, right? Okay, both you and your husband are working. Okay, so
Mm.
you really plan for the schedule as to who will do this and do that. Okay, and I think you've mentioned last time that your kids also help you, right?
Yes.
With other tasks. Okay, so you can also mention that, like from taking good care of the small or
Mm-hmm.
the smallest child, okay, and other tasks at home. Okay, so you can also mention that. Okay, there. Next, this one.
Okay. Do you think couples should share the household or should the wife take the main responsibility? Okay, okay, it's an agreement between the whole family how they will do the share a division, how they will share the tasks in the house. It would be advisable that one second, teacher. Yeah, yes, couples should be equal in the family, so they should share the housework. But it is understandable that when one is very busy, the other has to do more. Okay, in our case, in our case, as a family of five, we all we have a division of labor. We have a division of labor, which is individual distribution of tasks that has been addressed and planned among us.
Mm-hmm.
My hu-
Okay.
my husband, okay, um, like teacher, yeah, it would be a distribution of tasks among us in the house, where all of us needs to work according to the responsibilities, um, according to the to maintain the cleanliness and the orderliness in the house.
Okay, there you go. So I think, okay, you can say, I think, okay, couples,
Mm.
okay, should share. Okay, right? Couples should share the housework. Should share, okay, the housework. Okay, their housework. Okay, we need to maintain, okay, the cleanliness of our house. Okay, manage the family's needs. Okay, this is all in general.
Mm.
Family's needs. Okay, take good care of our kids. Okay, our kids. Okay, take good care of our kids. Okay, and to what else? Clean our house, manage the family's needs, take good care, and to and to work. Okay, at the same time. Okay, there you go. All right, and then you can add at the end what you believe. For example, I believe that okay, everything okay, everything will be organized and in order if me and my husband, okay, will help one another. Okay, there. That is your conclusion. Okay, please read.
Okay. I think couples should share their housework. We need to maintain the cleanliness of our house, manage the family's needs, take good care of our kids, and to work at the same time. I believe that everything will be organized in order if me and my husband will help one another.
Okay, there you go. So there. So you gave your conclusion at the end. Okay, there. So always remember that. That is a very basic question. Okay, next, let's look at here.
Who make most of the decision in your family? Your mother or your father? Why? My mother makes most of decision about trivial matters. Trivial. But when it comes to important decisions, Most of them will discuss and exchange ideas and make decisions together.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, how about you?
Okay. In my own family, most of the time my father will provide decisions. But when I get married, my husband and I would always agree and always discuss and agree the positive and identify the pros and cons before we decide. So I in my in this through this through this the agreement would be through this we could say that this kind of agreement would be beneficial as a couple.
Okay, this kind of agreement.
This kind
Okay,
of
you are following, okay, Filipino, um, what is this? The traditional
mm,
how Filipinos handle or manage family, right?
mm,
Okay, but this time, so we just don't listen um to the decision of the husband, but the wife can also give
mm,
suggestions, right? And at the end of the day, so they will think, both of them will decide for what's the best for the family.
mm. Because
Okay.
that would be the cause issue in my own experience. If one only will agree, the blame also if decision will not work, the blame will raise, and that would be the cause of an issue. It
Okay.
would be better if you will identify the pros and cons and then decide before the decision will be addressed.
Okay, you are right. It's really common for couples, in
Mm,
for a husband and wife. So if only one agrees to this and the other one didn't, whatever happens or whatever the result may be, so maybe the wife will blame the husband or the husband will blame
mm.
the wife. Okay, there. You are right. So that is usually what happens. Okay, there. So that is the setup, okay, in your family. Okay, next.
Are there many rules for children in Vietnam? There are some, but not so many. For example, children should respect the seniors and have good manners. I suppose children over the world do this. Okay. In the Philippine culture, um, children has been taught how to mm, bless or respect elders. This respect would be respect would be trained by the children in their younger age, so that it will not depart from them when they will grow old, or when they grow old, like say yes, you say po and opo, which is one of the respectable words that has been given to an elder one. And mano, bless, how do I call that, teacher? Bless, mano, when they when
Um,
they, when someone arrive at home.
okay. For the mano, you can mention, children usually kiss the hands of
Okay.
their grandparents. In our language, we call that mano.
Mm.
Okay, there. So you really mentioned mano. Okay, there you go. In English, they say it's kiss the hands, but it's like that.
Yes.
It's the hands like that. Like that, right? Or like that. Okay.
Mm.
But I think the term should be like, okay, let's check. Okay. Because they say it's kiss the hands, okay, of the adults. Okay. Pag in Tagalog, that is pagmamano, right?
Mm.
Okay, let's check. Mano is a gesture, pagmamano. It's an honoring gesture. Okay.
Mm.
So I want you to remember these words. Okay, pagmamano. So you can say in the Philippines. Okay, so you can say in the Philippines, the young
Mm.
people usually um, usually do the honoring. They do the honoring gestures to the adults, like okay, to their parents and grandparents.
Mm.
We call that in our language pagmamano. There you go. So you really mentioned the word. Okay, please read.
Okay, in the Philippines, the young people usually do the honoring gesture to the adults, like to their parents and grandparents. We call that in our language pagmamano.
Okay, there you go. So you presented the pagmamano, which is a very famous gesture being done in our culture. I think that's what we do. Like it's a form of showing respect, right, to the
Mm.
adults. Okay. For Japan, they will not do that, but they will bow, right? They'll always bow.
Mm.
Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, so that is what you do. Um, for the rules for children in for the rules for children in the Philippines. Okay, that is one of the rules that we instill to them, right? At the young
Okay.
age, at an early age. Okay, magmano to your grandparents, okay, respect them, the po and opo, right? Okay, there. Um, aside from that one, rules in studying. Are you very strict with your children? Like, will you follow a very strict schedule?
Okay. In studying teacher, of course, as a parents, we want our children to do the study first before another anything, before their individual habits of other thing. But usually, children nowadays, it's hard to impose with them this kind of rules. So as a mother or as a parents, I would rather tell my children to study first rather than into gamings or videos. But unfortunately, there will be I've been an experience that it's hard for them to follow. So I would be rather to impose rules that as long as you study, then videos or other games would be do after.
Mm, okay, there. Yeah, there are also rules like that, right? Some families they will only allow their kids to use the internet or to play video games for 20 minutes or 40
Mm.
minutes a day. Okay, the rest is for studying, reading. Others are for sports. Like for the Chinese, they really follow a very strict rules that sometimes the students will only have limited hours of sleeping. They will sleep 10:30 or 11 p.m. and they will wake up at 5 a.m. again. Yeah, so they are I really pity the students in China. They are very strict to their children. Yeah. I think being that strict is not good sometime, right?
Yes, because children needs to enjoy their life being a child, but of course too much is not good.
You are
Especially for
right.
videos and gamings, it would be too much, so not good also. It's not beneficial.
You are right. So there's really need to be a balance. Maybe they can enjoy doing physical sports or, to band with the family outside.
Yes.
Okay. There, yeah. So because sometimes it's if their schedule is too hectic, it could also affect their attitude.
Yes.
Yeah. It's easier for them to be angry. I noticed that with my students in Vietnam. Yeah, but I understand because I can see how difficult it is for them, their schedule. Okay, There you go. So those are the rules. Okay. So when you say rules, it's not all about with their behavior. It could also be rules related for their education or their activities for the day. Okay. Or rules that has something to do anything at home, like
Mm-hmm.
do not throw your clothes anywhere. Okay. Learn to organize your bed before going out of your room. Okay. So there are also rules like that. Okay. Next. Okay. This one.
Has this changed very much recently? Some rules have changed, but others are still the same. For example, children in the past should only be seen but not be heard. Otherwise, they would be severely punished. But now, children can play freely, which is quite good, I think, because it can facilitate their creativity and improve the rapport between parents and children. Okay.
Okay. How about for you?
Okay. Life would be, so, yeah, some rules have been changed, as some rules has been changed in terms of their, especially in terms of their okay, interest.
Mhm.
Okay, for example, for example, interest and ano ba yung teacher? And
Children's interest.
yes, students' interest and um, children's interest. For example, my child is having my child is what do I call this? Children in the past should have been seen. Okay, we will do it in general, teacher, right?
Okay. In general. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, some rules has been changed, but as some rules has been changed, especially if children has been adapt to the other culture, like here in Qatar. Okay,
Mm.
here in Qatar, most of the children are adapt Mediterranean culture, like Mediterranean culture, like pagmamano has been or honoring gesture obsolete or uh, has been yeah, I mean nawala na, teacher, has been gone in their mindset. But in my children, I would rather to put or be I would rather to uh, impose them impose them that kind of gestures for their in respect to the elders.
Mhm. Okay. There you go. So it's like despite your children, okay, is okay living in a different culture today,
Mm,
you still want to instill, okay, in their minds the culture of Filipinos.
yes.
Okay, you want to preserve the culture of the Filipinos despite your family is living in the Middle East, right? Okay, yeah. So that is okay to preserve. Okay, you like to preserve. Okay, there you go. So that is preserve. Okay, or instill, right? Instill. Okay, there. All right. Okay, there. So that is what you like to do. Okay, so no changes, but you want to preserve. Okay,
Mm.
there you go. Next.
Who is the person that has influenced you most in your family? Definitely my father and mother. She was very strict with us, but always so helpful. Whenever I had any problem I study, she would help me out through discussion. He or she is so hard working, understanding. Although we live a simple life, we live in happiness and harmony thanks to her diligence, independence, and optimism. I learned from him or her to be optimistic and independent. Okay.
Okay, there.
I I would and I would prefer I would choose my father would be the most influence in my family. As a father figure, he always establish or he will establish strict um, strict rules in the house where all of us will follow. My mother was soft spoken, soft spoken mother or soft spoken mother. So I could see that my father is the most influential in terms of rules and regulations in the house.
Okay. Is your father strict?
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand his strictness because we are seven girls in the family
Oh, all
and one
girls?
boy. Yeah,
Only
seven
one
girls
boy.
and one.
Wow.
So,
The only one boy.
in order for us not to marry early or have a boyfriend early before finishing studies, I do believe that would be his attitude towards us to establish strictness and rules in the house
Okay.
by leaving a good example to us.
Okay. Girls. Okay. That is why, okay, our father, okay, was strict. Okay. Anyway, right. So, yeah, so here. Okay. So please read.
Okay. My father influenced me the most. As the head of our family, he imposed rules for us to follow. I have a kind and soft spoken mother, while my father is strict and has the most influence in my family. We are eight siblings with seven are girls.
Okay, there you go. So that's already understood, right? Why your father was really strict because she has seven princes and only one prince. Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, so tonight, Mildred, I will try my best. I will check the books and I will try to see what kind of book I can send you through email,
Mm,
maybe writing books for IELTS, just for you
mm,
to read or to do a little review, because those are
mm,
accurate. At least we're following a book, okay? For you to have an idea how it is, okay, for
mm,
writing, because they say that in writing there are graphs that you need to explain,
mm,
and per their experience they can say that writing is a little bit challenging for them than speaking, yeah,
mm.
because of the graph, yeah, that they need to compare and to, okay, to explain. Yeah, so we will check on that. Okay, this is just a preparation. Okay,
Mm.
so that you will not be shocked with writing. Okay, so I'll check the books later, then I'll send you an email. Okay, so that
Okay.
you'll have a resources to follow. Okay, there you go. So thank you so much for today, Mildred.
Thank
Okay,
you
so
so
keep
much.
on doing the usual things you do. Okay, and enjoy learning. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Bye
Thank you, teacher,
bye.
and have a nice day. Good
Okay,
night.
all right.